huge gratitude to Friends of Bangor for the extraordinary work that you've done in bringing connection into being, and that's really what this afternoon is about. It's about connection this way, but also connection this way with each other. And just so grateful that this would have been the weekend, Friends of Bangor weekend in Bangor, but it wasn't to be, and it's been transformed into a series of wonderful events that you've hosted so beautifully, and have really done exactly what your mission was, which is to create connection. And Per was the original catalyst for the Friends of Bangor. So much gratitude to the whole committee for all you've done. And I feel very held as I sort of enter into this day of practice. I think for all of us, we've all been, still feel like an online newbie in terms of teaching online. I'm feeling my way with this. It's a strange business, but it's also really, really wonderful that we can do this. So I'll say some more words by way of introduction in a few moments, but let's just drop in. Let's just come into practice together. Let's have a few moments to land. And in these first moments, really opening with curiosity to the way things feel in your own being. As best you can, really meeting yourself as you find yourself. How would it be in this moment to really allow yourself to be just as you are? So noticing the preferencing that is inevitably going to be here for one state over another. But really exploring the possibility of allowing it to be just like this. And dropping the attention down into the feel of contact, body with ground. Ground meeting body and body meeting ground. And spreading the attention from this place of contact into a wider feel of your whole being. Right out to the edges. And supporting yourself to settle as we arrive into this afternoon of practice by arriving into connection with an anchor place in the body. This might be your breath, or it might be a place of touch, one part of the body with another. Just narrowing the attention to one particular place and feeling the sensations here. And now spreading out your attention into a wider feel of your whole body breathing, feeling the movement in the body, the stillness in the body, places of softness and ease, places of intensity or discomfort. And as best you can, just being with yourself as you are, all of it, with kindness. And now gently inviting you to draw this practice to a close. But of course, we're not drawing anything to a close. We're just transitioning into the next practice, which will be a time of talking and connection, just setting ourselves up for the afternoon. So have a sense of spreading out your awareness into the wider space of connection with the space you're in your own home, and connection with each other. So allowing the screen to come into your awareness. Opening into an awareness of each other, this virtual circle that we're sitting in, that spans the globe. So just, I wanted to say a few words by way of just really supporting ourselves to land into an afternoon of practice. So a real encouragement to you all to put your phones in another room, and you may have already done this, but to let your family know that you're just going quiet for the afternoon. So as best you can, really giving yourself some uninterrupted space. And a real invitation to take good care of yourself. So we won't be taking formal breaks. We're closing at 4:30, so we'll just kind of roll through different practices through the afternoon. And just within that, really taking care of yourself. So if you need to slip away to the bathroom, just doing that. There will be some transition spaces between practices, and that might be a good moment. And there will be some brief breakout rooms at the beginning of the afternoon shortly, and at the end of the afternoon, and they're an invitation. If you choose to just sit quietly or maybe journal and reflect on your own, that's also really fine. But it also is really lovely if you choose to, it can be really supportive to our own practice and supportive to the wider community to So we hear ourselves speak out loud our intentions for practice or what we notice from practice. So maybe considering taking up that invitation. I wanted to say a few words. So the theme of the afternoon was very much around connection. And so, you know, our work is, the afternoon is to really dive into connection with a sort of primary focus, of course, on our own being and on really heightening our own sensitivity to our own immediacy of our own experience, our own process. It feels really important to remind ourselves what that's in the service of. And it's a really strong awareness that we're living in extraordinary times in the world, and it's really kind of reminding ourselves that this work of going close into our own experience is very much about enhancing our capacity to meet what's here in life, in our experience, and in life sort of internally and externally, in ways that serve the well-being of ourselves and the well-being of those around us and the wider world. And it enhances our capacity to really have some wisdom about what serves, what leads to flourishing and well-being and what doesn't. Really recognizing that this time, this virus has really exposed some kind of major fault lines in our systems and in society, and exposed the vulnerabilities that we all have, but the recognizing that, you know, that many groups and within our society have more vulnerability because of how they're positioned. And so really recognizing that we're doing this practice for the well-being of all, that this isn't about feeling nicer ourselves. It'd be lovely if that also happens, but that's not the main point. I wanted to share, just as we've moved into the day, a poem that I really love, that really speaks to me of this kind of the poem is called Start Close In. It's David Whyte's poem. And it's just this sense of, actually, that's the only place we can start if we're to move in the world in ways that have some wisdom. So I guess, you know, that's what we're doing this afternoon. We're prioritizing starting close in. But I guess I'd really encourage us all to have this wider intention of that this is in the service of something else. So start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground, you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way of starting a conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear listening to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. Okay, so let's start. I wanted to say also, just so that you don't need to worry about it, that I have Parkinson's, so this side of my body is quite shaky. So if you see me shaking, it's not really because I'm cold or scared, though that might crop up too. But it's because it's just how it is. It shakes whenever I'm still. So let's start close in. Let's come to a sitting practice. So, and I say sitting, but of course it's whatever works for your body. So, finding a posture that meets what works for you right now. Yeah, and it's lovely to see a few of you just really taking time to adjust and arrange your body. So we're just making sure you've got the cushions you need, the shawl you need, the support you need. And dropping in. And once again, feeling your way into connection with the very direct sense of body touching ground. Maybe as you breathe out, having a sense of deepening this contact. So allowing the body to rest into the earth. And feeling the stable base of the body, however you're sitting or maybe lying, just feeling this sense of this broad contact with the ground, stability of the body, touching the earth. And maybe tuning in to any places in the body where there's some sense of holding, some sense of resisting this support that the earth is offering in this moment. Gently spreading the attention through the wider body, as tuning in to the feel of things in different regions. Maybe with a gentle inquiry around this possibility of softening and easing into the ground, into the support of the earth, whilst at the same time inviting a tall dignity, whether you're lying or sitting. So maybe also just tuning in to the way you're sitting or the way you're lying, and just inviting an openness through the front of the body. You might even draw up the shoulders towards the ears and roll them back, just inviting the chest to open. And tuning into the curves of the spine, is feeling the strength through the back of the body. Tuning into the neck, inviting the back of the neck to belong by gently tucking the chin. And tuning into the feel of things in the face. Just with kindly inquiry, just gently feeling your way through the different parts of your face, inviting ease. So sensing this whole body, weight moving down and height lifting tall. Breath flowing freely. And inviting us now to gently narrow the attention, choosing one particular place in the body to serve as an anchor point for your attention for the next few minutes. Just scanning through the body and choosing where you would like to rest the attention. Specific feelings of breath in belly maybe, or the nostrils. Maybe the touch of your hands on your knees. Maybe something else. And allowing your attention to become immersed with the feel of things in this place. If it's the breath, it's really tuning in to the feel of the movement of the breath from its beginning to its end, and it's turning around. It's becoming an out breath. And allowing the breath to flow as it wants to flow. Maybe quite uneven, maybe jerky at times. The resting into just how it is. And allowing the practice to be one of coming home, coming back, using the anchor place as a place to come back to. And whatever is showing up in your experience, really allowing it to be part of your practice, so nothing is outside. So allowing the anchor to be at the center, but around the periphery, thoughts, emotions, sensations in other places, sounds, all of it, flow of experience. coming back to your anchor place to be done with ease. No need to rush back. Remembering that the main point is not to keep the attention on the anchor point. The main point is this wider cultivation of connection, awareness. So the anchor point is just a way of doing this. So gently now feeling your way into wider connection with the wider body. So spreading out around the particular place in the body where you've connected into a wider sense. Maybe just moving through the different regions of your body in turn, just feeling your way into connection with your legs. With the trunk of the body. You may notice as you connect with the wider body that there's been a shift in your posture, just inviting a return to the posture that really invites both ease and awakeness. Feeling your way into connection with sensations down the arm, both arms. And the neck. And the head. So in the next few minutes of this practice, inviting us to rest into awareness of the wider body, which may at times for you mean a sense of the whole body, from the ground to the crown of your head. And in other moments it may be your awareness is drawn to particular places. Just playing with being with the body, inhabiting this body, really living inside your own physicality. Remembering to take good care of yourself. Remembering that my guidance is guidance, not instruction. So all the while, just really using the frame of the practice guidance this afternoon in ways that really support you, the letting go of what doesn't seem right. Remembering if there's any discomfort in the body, that you have choices. So one choice is to move the body, to adjust your position. And really folding in the awareness of the movement as it's happening. Folding in the awareness of the settling back into relative stillness. Feeling the effects of moving. And another possibility is to gently hold the region of the body that's feeling uncomfortable or painful or intense. Just gently hold it in kindly awareness. Just allowing this to be the focus for your practice for a short while. Gently exploring the feel of things in this place. Maybe breathing with or breathing into this region of the body. All the while inviting an orientation of allowing, making room for how things are. And a third possibility is to find an anchor place. So to actually rest the attention in another aspect of experience. So to hold the intensity alongside the feel of things in another place, such as the breath or the contact of body with ground. So as we sit with awareness of the body, just playing with these different ways of exploring experience. And being curious as to how it is when you play with different options. And really folding in this spirit of inquiry and discovery. And checking in, where is the attention just now? No judgment, but just a sense of, oh, wow. And beginning again. And in the last few minutes of this practice, I'm inviting us into a space of reflection. So, inviting you to reflect on what brought you to practice this afternoon, what brought you to carve this space out for practice. And just a heads up that I had originally thought that we might move into breakout groups to explore this, but just now I'm more inclined to just allow us to just keep flowing with solo practice in the company of each other. So this will be a private reflection. I might invite you, if you choose to, after I ring the bells, to just jot some notes down. So you can just reflect with yourself. Just allowing a free flow reflection on your intentions for your practice this afternoon, your heart wish. What brought me here? What was the pull, the tug, the wish? And a bit like the image that you're also familiar with of the pebble dropping down into a deep body of water. Just feeling the circling of this question as the pebble drops down into your being. So just allow the question to come again and again, and listen to the responses that come forth. Listen to one response and then ask the question again and see what comes next. What brought me here? one of the things that feels particularly present for me just now is this sense of the power of community. So we all could have done what we're doing this afternoon on our own, but it would probably have felt quite different. So how is it to be here together? It's really reflecting on the support that each of us is giving to each other just by being here, doing our practice together. So as you reflect on your intentions, maybe also just widening out to this wider field of community and connection into the world. So just inviting, stretching, just feeling your way into what your body needs just now. And in this transition between this, and we're going to move into a movement practice, starting with lying on the ground. But there's no rush, so take your time. And you may also, in this transition, like to just get some paper and just jot down some of what emerged for you in that reflection. It's just for yourself, but just to maybe capture some of those themes that were present for you as you reflected. So taking all the time you need, particularly if you're making some notes, but when you're ready in your own time, just transitioning to lying on the ground. So when you're ready, just finding your way into contact with the ground on the floor, just lying down, stretching out. And just taking some time to settle into how it is to be in contact with the ground in this way. In this position, there's the potential for the body to completely let go. And just really exploring whether the body's taking that invitation. Feeling the breath moving freely in the body. Really inhabiting the body in this posture with kindness. And remembering as I guide these movements to really take good care of yourself. So you know your body and you know your body's limitations, and you also you can be in touch with the feel of things as you're moving. So really attuning to what your body needs. And you may adjust what I guide or not do it or visualize yourself doing it. So making this your own practice. So let's begin by taking the arms up and overhead, maybe breathing in as you move the arms up and then as the arms move overhead, if that's okay for your body, just letting the breath go and then moving into some stretches through the full length of the body. And just organically allowing the body to move down, stretch down the left side, stretch down the right side, breathing as you stretch, pointing the toes and stretching that way, drawing the toes back up and stretching that way, pressing the back into the ground and stretching that way. Maybe stretching on the diagonal as well. Left leg, right arm, right leg, left arm. So just playing. Maybe clasping the hands together and stretching that way. Breathing deeply and freely as you move. And now if it works for your body, just drawing the knees up towards your chest, taking hold of your knees, your thighs or your knees, and dropping the attention down into your back, your lower back, and feeling the contact of back with ground. And drawing circles, elliptical circles on the ground with your back. So you can't get to a masseur at the moment, but you can massage your own back. So really feeling the way the ground is interacting with your back and letting your back tell you what it needs. And being very alive to the effects of the sensations that you're creating. Breath, breathing. So now resting the left foot down on the ground, and you can either have it stretched out or with the knee up towards the ceiling, depending on whether you need to protect your lower back. And taking hold of your right knee with your right hand and just beginning to move the knee, so you're manipulating your right hip joint just by moving the knee out towards the right and over the body. And just playing with circling and feeling the range of movement that's possible here, sensing into the boundaries and respecting them. But allowing it to be a very alive exploration of the feel of things in this right leg. Allowing the leg to be passive, letting the hands move it. What's happening with the breath as you move? And inviting you now to take the toes up in the air, and again just being really sensitive to your lower back. It may be helpful to bring your left knee up towards the ceiling as you take your right foot up towards the ceiling and circling that foot. Just wherever your leg is, just that's fine. Circling in one direction and then the other, really feeling into the muscle groups that get involved. Spreading the toes. And if you'd like to, just taking hold of your leg, either behind the thigh or higher up the leg, wherever your hands land up. And just gently drawing the leg towards your upper body. And again, tuning into the boundary that's here. And respecting the boundary, but also being curious about it. Maybe noticing if any emotions or feelings arise around that boundary in connection with the sense of things. Breathing. And gently now taking this leg down, and maybe taking it down slowly, but again, just checking that your back is protected. But feeling the movement of leg through space. Feeling the contact of leg with ground and the release that comes with that. And spreading out both legs and just pausing for a moment, tuning into the feel of things. So let's draw up the left knee now. So drawing the left knee up towards the upper body, taking hold of your knee with your hands and beginning to manipulate the left hip joint. And again, just feeling into these movements as they're happening. So you're all really familiar with this. This is not new, but it's new in this moment. So really cultivating this sense of beginner's mind. Meeting yourself as you are now. Maybe lingering in certain places, just feeling into sensations. Friendly exploration. And taking the foot up towards the ceiling. And again, just rotating the ankle one way and then the other way, spreading the toes. Noticing if there's differences between right and left. And see if it's possible to meet these with kindness. And care. And taking hold of your leg wherever your hands come to, and just gently feeling your way into drawing the leg back towards the upper body. How does this feel? And where's the boundary here? And how does the boundary feel? And what happens to the breath when you meet your boundary? Just really immersing yourself in this exploration. And now gently letting this left leg descend down towards the ground. Just allowing some tone in the core of your body to protect your body to protect the back as the leg moves down. Feeling the weight of that leg. And giving way into the ground. Just scanning the attention through the whole body and inviting release. It's here now. So let's do a twist now. So drawing the knees once again back up towards the upper body and letting them roll over, the knees roll over to the right side of the body. And there's many variations on these twists, so if you have a particular favourite, feel free to do that. And checking in as to whether you want to make this more intense by allowing the head to roll in the other direction, so looking with your head out towards the left side. And allowing gravity to invite you down towards the earth. So gently scanning through the body and tuning into the places where it's possible to let go. Maybe particularly exploring the possibility of letting go on the out breath. Just gently allowing different parts of the body to soften into the earth. And gently now unfurling the body, coming back to center, just pausing for a moment, aligning the body in the central place. And when you're ready, letting the knees roll over to the left side. You might find that you put the left hand on your right thigh. And looking out over the right, you might stretch your right arm out and look out beyond your fingertips. And letting go here. Allowing the body to give way to gravity here. And inviting an orientation of ease within the midst of whatever is present for you as you linger in this posture. So things may feel easeful in the body or they may not. Is it possible to meet what's here without struggle? So gently now, once again, unfurling the body, coming back to center, aligning the body in the central place. Your knees up towards the ceiling, feet flat on the floor, or with your legs stretched out. And pausing a moment here, just taking in the feel of things in this moment. Breath, breathing, maybe taking one or two deeper, deliberate breaths and inviting a sense of letting go on the out breath. So inviting us to move from here into coming up onto our hands and knees on all fours. You're just feeling your way into this, tuning into the sense of things in the body as you move. So having the hands more or less below the shoulders, and the knees more or less below the hip joints, and coming into flat back posture. And just checking how this is. Just feeling your way into this, and maybe just in this position, just rolling the pelvis. So drawing circles with the pelvis, so the weight comes more over the hands and then more over the knees and more over the left side and then more over the right side. Just feeling how this is and reversing the circles. Breathing. And remembering to make your own adjustments all the time to allow these movements to suit your body. The main point is not the exact movement we do, it's the awareness we're bringing to the movements. So now coming back to your flat tabletop position, the back of the neck is long, and let's move into some back stretches from here. So dropping the attention down to the base of your spine, and from here just bringing the awareness to the back as it arches up and the head drops down. And then reversing that, so allowing the attention to ripple down the spine as the stretch reverses. So just moving to and fro, allowing the breath to flow with the movements. Breathing in as you breathing out as you arch the back, and breathing in as you reverse that. And just being curious where the attention is as you move. Perhaps it's rippling up and down the backbone. Feeling the muscles moving as you arch. And your body may be asking for some very soft, small movements today. Or maybe your body's asking for you to really stretch into the fullness of this movement. So allowing this to be a listening practice to your own body and to the needs of your own body just now. Noticing the habit patterns that may arise, so maybe there's a habit of moving into the edges of whatever's possible. And actually it would be really interesting to play with softness, or vice versa. And coming to a pause moment, and maybe just checking that your wrists are okay and just giving them a moment of ease by just bringing them off the ground and rotating the wrists, spreading the fingers. So let's play with moving into some balance from here. So taking out the right leg behind you, and it may just be that you just keep the tip of your big toe in contact with the ground, or it may be that you take it into the air. Just playing with what you'd like to do, or perhaps you'll move between the two. And this is a balance posture just now, just balancing on your hands and one leg. And just feeling into this. You may want to take it a little bit further by taking the left hand off the ground and pointing that forwards, allowing the gaze to be down so that the back of the neck remains long, and feeling the strength down the core of the body, and feeling the wobble and the shakes and the breath. And coming back, if you haven't done so already, and allowing the knee and the hand coming back to all fours and stretching the back, arching the back. Breath flowing freely. And let's do this on the other side. So taking the the left leg out behind you. And again, it may be different. So it may be that on this side you feel steadier and stronger, or maybe less. So maybe you need to make adjustments on this side that you didn't need to make on the other. So really listening to what your body is telling you. And if you choose to, taking the right arm out and feeling the wobble here. Breath, breathing. And coming back to hands on knees, hands and knees. And if it works for you, allowing the buttocks to move back towards your feet, coming into child's pose, either with the arms out or with the arms alongside your legs. And maybe with a cushion that you can rest your hands on the cushion, your head on a cushion, or maybe your head comes right down to the ground. So just checking out what works for you. And just coming to a pause moment here. Just feeling into the body in this position. And in a few moments, in about 5 minutes, we'll move into a body scan practice, which could be lying down on the ground, or it could be in a sitting posture, or even standing if that is better for your body. So inviting just now a transition, which may include going to the bathroom, or it may be that your body is wanting some other stretches and other movements. So just taking care of yourself within the next 5 minutes as we move towards preparing ourselves for a body scan practice. What does your body need just now? So taking all the time you need to really settle the body. If it works for you, for your body, stretching out on the ground, on a sofa. Making sure you've got a pillow or something to support the head if you need that, or a cover if you think you might be cold. So really attending to your comfort as best you can. And of course, it doesn't mean to say that we'll be comfortable all the way through, but it means that we're setting up the conditions that invite ease where it's possible. So I'll guide from sitting so I can stay more in touch with you. So as we settle into this body scan practice, I'd like to just share a poem. It's Rilke's poem about gravity, which many of you will know. How surely gravity's law, strong as an ocean current, takes hold of even the strongest thing and pulls it towards the heart of the world. Each thing, each stone, blossom, child is held in place. Only we, in our arrogance, push out beyond what we belong to for some empty freedom. If we surrendered to Earth's intelligence, we could rise up rooted like trees. Instead, we entangle ourselves in knots of our own making and struggle lonely and confused. So, like children, we begin again to learn from the things because they are in our heart and they have never left us. And this is what the things teach us: to fall, patiently trusting our heaviness. Even a bird has to do that before she can fly. So patiently trusting your heaviness in this moment. So as we settle, as tuning into this sense of heaviness, sweeping the attention through the body, feeling the places of contact, body with ground. And allowing the earth to support you. And gently feeling the movement of breath in the body, feeling this down in the abdomen. And let's gently move into this awareness of body practice. Just giving each part of the body its own time. Just having an intention to systematically rest the attention through the different regions of the body, tuning into what's here to be felt or not felt. And having an intention to not put any pressure on ourselves or our experience or our practice. Just taking the feel of things as they are, moment by moment. Really not knowing what will emerge when we rest our attention in a new place. Holding a sense of possibility for whatever will arise. So let's begin by gently strolling our way down through the left leg and feeling our way into connection with the left foot and the left toes. What's here? What's here in these toes? May just be simply a sense of knowing that they're here, just feeling the position of the toes. There may be sensations of coolness or warmth, tingling, movement or stillness. And allowing whatever is here to be enough. Just this. Allowing things to be simple. And gently feeling your way now into connection with the left sole, the underneath of your left foot. Maybe with a sense of awe, this arch of the foot, the ball of the foot, this extraordinary structure we call our left foot. And gently traveling with your attention into the other parts of this left foot, the surface sensations, the inside sensations. And the left ankle. Taking in what's here. And now gently connecting with the breath and breathing in all the way down to this left foot and breathing out from the left foot. We're just playing with this. Of course, it's not literal, but just a sense of breath and foot. Sense of the awareness alongside the breath. Perhaps a sense of nourishment as you breathe in and a sense of letting go as you breathe out. And letting go here and guiding your attention now into the lower left leg. What's here? Gently weaving your attention through the different parts of the leg, the left leg, between the knee and the ankle. Just really feeling it from the inside out, moving in close. And how about the left knee? What's here? Just pausing, lingering with your attention here and holding a question. What's here? This kindly, undemanding attention. And gently now traveling into the left thigh all the way up to the hip joint. And tuning into the ripples of sensations that can be felt here. Or maybe it's very quiet just now here. Just gently weaving your way through the different parts of your left thigh. Feeling the position, the contact of thigh with ground, contact of clothes with your thigh, and the deep inside sensations. Gently spreading the attention so that you have a sense of the whole of your left leg. Just really honoring it with your attention. And breathing with and breathing into this left leg. Just playing with holding awareness here alongside the breath. And remembering as we move through this body scan that very naturally your attention will fluctuate. There'll be times when you're fully present with the immediacy of sensations in the body. And there'll be times when you lose touch. My voice might become quite distant. May travel on streams of thought association to another place and another time. Or you may become sleepy. So none of this is a problem. It's all just really natural arisings in this human body-mind system. So being really easy around all of this and knowing the potential for waking up, literally waking up from sleep, but also waking up into awareness. So whenever you do notice that you've lost touch, just lingering there and being curious. What's the feel of things in this place? And then gently returning, beginning again, and allowing this beginning again to happen as many times as it needs to. It is the practice. It's a really forgiving practice. So letting go now of the left leg and taking the trail of your attention across the pelvis and down through the right leg to the right foot and moving in close with the right toes. What do you feel here? And what do you feel in the bottom of your right foot? And gently feeling your way into contact with other places in your right foot, the surface, the inside sensations. Traveling up into the right ankle. And gently spreading out and holding the right foot in a sense of kindly holding. Feeling the preciousness of this part of your being. Maybe holding this alongside the breath in whatever way you'd like to. Breathing with breathing into, breathing alongside. And now gently letting go here and allowing the trail of your attention to move into the lower right leg. Feeling the way this leg is positioned in this place. Really taking in the feel of things here. And gently moving to the right knee. What's here? And how are you with what's here in this knee? Is there a sense of kindness? Is there a willingness to allow things to be as they are? And gently moving now into the right thigh, all the way up to the hip joint. Feeling into sensations here. And gently spreading out the attention to encompass the whole of your right leg. A sense of maybe cradling the leg with kindly attention. And as you hold your attention here, bringing the breath alongside awareness of this leg. Quietly allowing things to be as they are. If you're experiencing intense or uncomfortable sensations in the body, remembering to take good care of yourself, remembering it's fine to move. And remembering that you can use the anchor as a support to hold the attention in the present moment alongside the intensity. Just playing with resting your attention in different ways with your experience and just seeing what happens as you do this without any sense of agenda, just a sense of discovery, sense of playing with different ways of kindly being with. letting go here now and allowing the legs to rest quietly and moving the attention to the pelvic region. Just feeling contact of the pelvis, the buttocks with the ground. Noticing maybe if there's any holding in the muscles here, or if there's a sense of letting go. Just really feeling the bony structure of the pelvis. Cradling the organs of the lower abdomen and the digestive and reproductive organs. And with kindness, just feeling what's here in this region of the body with sensitivity. And gently spreading the attention from here into the lower back. And the middle back. Noticing contact with ground if you're lying and how this feels. Maybe you can tune into the breath through the movements of the rib cage. Feeling into the upper back and the shoulder blades. Maybe there's contact with ground here if you're lying. And gently strolling with your attention back down through the trunk of the body and feeling into your abdominal area. Tuning into the feel of things in the digestive system just now. Feeling breath in the abdomen. Maybe a sense of comfort here, or maybe there's some discomfort. How is it just now? And tuning in now to the chest area. Just resting the attention in the physical heart and just feeling whether there's any sensations to be felt here. No pressure, just sense of listening, deep sensitivity. The sort of attention that you'd give to a really good friend. How about the breath in the chest area? How does this feel right now? And gently now spreading out the attention to encompass the whole of the trunk of the body, the core of your body, from the pelvis up through the back, down through the chest and the abdomen. And gently holding this region of your body in kindly, caring attention. breathing with and breathing into. Allowing the breath, the feel of the breath, to touch every cell in the core of your body. Breathing in energy and letting go on the out breath. And now gently letting go here and traveling with your attention down through the arms into the hands. Just gently holding the hands in this embrace of awareness. Allowing them to light up with the feel of things becoming more vivid in your attention. And the fingers and the knuckles, the soft parts of the inside of your hands and the knobbly parts of the outside. Just feeling your way through this extraordinary structure we call hand. What's here to be felt? And gently traveling from here into the wrists and the lower arms. And the elbows. Just giving yourself over just now to the feel of things in the elbows. And the upper arms. Shoulders. Just a kindly weaving of attention through the different parts of your shoulders. Gently acknowledging the feel of things here. Listening. Coming to know. And now opening out to an awareness of the arms as a whole, all the way down to the hands. And have a sense of breathing with an awareness in this region. Gently knowing the feel of things in the arms and hands alongside the breath. And letting go here now and guiding the attention now into your neck. And just resting here with the attention and waiting to see what sensations reveal themselves to you. Journeying on into your head, starting with the scalp region, just feeling your way through the back of your head. And then journeying down into the face, beginning with your forehead. What happens when you just pause here? What do you feel? Be curious as to whether the sensations stay the same when you rest your awareness with them, or if there's some shifts. Really tuning in to the subtle whispers of sensations. Eyebrows. The space between the eyebrows. The nose. The cheeks. And gently moving the attention down to the lips, feeling the touch of your lips with each other. And the mouth inside. Maybe tuning into a sense of taste, texture, feeling contact with the soft parts of the mouth and the teeth, the gums. So gently spreading out to have an awareness of the whole of your face. And feeling the face from the inside. In this moment, no need to express anything to the world. Sensing the possibility of resting in the face. And the ears, just gently moving round to connect with the feel of things here. Inside sensations and surface sensations. The way the ears are making sense of the vibrations in the air that we call sound. Helping us to understand the world. So gently now spreading out the attention to encompass the whole of your head region. Maybe feeling the weight of this, either resting down onto the ground if you're lying down, or resting into your neck and shoulders if you're sitting. What else is here to be felt in your head and face, neck? Kindly cradling that gently holds and acknowledges the feel of things here in an unpressured way. And now inviting a spreading of attention out into the feel of things in the whole body. An awareness vast enough to encompass all the sensations and emotions and thoughts, all the experience that's unfolding in this body-mind, your own being. And gently breathing with what's here. That's resting with a sense of the possibility of connecting with a sense of wholeness, whatever is showing up within you in this moment. Sense of really meeting experience as it is, beyond the need for things to be a certain way. Knowing that there's a constant flux. And this is how it is just now. And now. And now. Listening deeply. So now, in a few moments, we're going to begin to transition from this body scan practice. So, bringing your awareness right back to where you are now and just tuning in to what the body needs in this transition. So I'd like to just invite us to move into 5 minutes or so of stretching in your own way, just moving the body in whatever way your body would like to move. And then we'll settle into a sitting practice. So just really listening to and responding to your body, taking all the time you need. And if you're lying, just really recommending that you take some time to roll over and just rest quietly for a few moments on one side or the other before you sit up. So staying close, just really feeling into what your body is telling you. This real opportunity of a more sustained period of practice like we're doing this afternoon, of really allowing this sensitivity to develop. So giving yourself the space to connect. And as you settle, just really tuning into what's needed. So you might be feeling that the body is a little bit sluggish, the energy is a bit low, and maybe you need to more deliberately bring the body to a brighter posture. Or maybe stand for a little while before transitioning to sitting. Or maybe there's a sense of lots of things rolling through in your attention, and actually a softer posture, more receptive posture is what's needed. So really allowing this craft of practice to be a craft, to really meet what's here in your experience just now. So allowing your practice to be an intuitive process of engaging with your own truth in this moment. I just want to share a few reflections with an intention of just really supporting our process of practice this afternoon. So just either just continuing with a practice posture, or just opening your eyes if that helps you to connect with the words that I'm going to say. So just tuning in whatever way works for you, and just really allowing these words to come to you and connect with what lands for you, and just let the rest go. I really wanted to speak a little bit around the theme of vulnerability. It was a theme that has sort of been on my mind as a theme for this afternoon of practice. And then I was listening to the radio during the week and listened to Michael Rosen, the children's author, who was speaking after his recovery from COVID. And he'd had COVID really severely and is still very weak. And he was speaking about feeling feeble and lopsided. And he was speaking somewhat about, the vulnerability of that clearly he's experiencing at the moment, but actually of how that is the truth for all of us. But there's times in our life when we're more in touch with it than others. And so really, it feels to me like there's a sort of theme that we spoke about at the beginning around connection, that this is really close in with vulnerability. The sense that actually by doing this practice, we come into closer contact with what it is to be human and what it is to live in this constantly changing body and in a world that's constantly changing, and both are out of our control. And the piece that we can influence is how we are with all that, but we're not in control of what happens in many, many ways. So really, I'm sort of really recognizing that a lot of us are feeling somewhat feeble and lopsided just now. I've certainly had my wobbly moments over these last months with navigating a new diagnosis and the COVID, and navigating living with my grown-up children again, and all that's come in this really strange time, and then the sweep of very difficult events in the wider world and all that's come with that. So this real sense of that in a way this connection with vulnerability can be, if we connect with it in a way that is attuned and sensitive and kindly, it can be a kind of gateway into a deeper connection with the way things are. I've sort of really been playing in my own process around having a diagnosis that is, it's a degenerative diagnosis, and but really recognizing, I had a beautiful email actually from John Kabat-Zinn in the early stages, soon after the diagnosis, and he'd heard on the grapevine, and he was encouraging me to reflect on the deeper healing that's possible beyond the conditions of the moment. So beyond actually how things are, a sort of relationship with our experience that actually doesn't demand for things to be a certain way. So the healing that's possible through really having the willingness to show up to our experience and to the world as it is, and the potential that then that enables us to actually be freer to meet our experience in ways that are supportive to our well-being and to wider well-being. And a real sense that we can't do that on our own. So it's been really, I've really felt both with COVID and kind of what's been happening for me personally, of a sort of real, of much sort of a reminder, being re-reminded of how important it is for us to be in connection with each other when we're navigating, I mean, all the time, but it sort of comes up particularly when we're navigating challenge. We genuinely can't do this on our own. So this is, why, one of the reasons why it's so valuable to come into connection just for this afternoon, just really feel the presence of each other and to know at a very deep level, yes, we're all navigating our own stuff, but we're doing this within a container that acknowledges that this is, one level it's my stuff, but it's actually, it's our stuff, it's human stuff. So this was a poem that came to me this week from a friend, and it's called Human Beings by Adrian Mitchell. Look at your hands, your beautiful, useful hands. You're not an ape, you're not a parrot, you're not a slow loris or a smart missile. You're human. You're not British, you're not American, you're not Israeli, you're not Palestinian. You're human. You're not Catholic, you're not Protestant, you're not Muslim, you're not Hindu. You're human. We all start human and we end up human. Human first and human last. We're human or we're nothing. Nothing but bombs, nothing in poison gas, nothing but guns and torturers, nothing but slaves of greed and war. If we're not human, look at your body with its amazing systems of nerve wires and blood canals. Think about your mind, which can think about itself and the whole universe. Look at your face, which can freeze in horror or melt into love. Look at all that life, all that beauty. You're human, they are human, we are human. Let's be human and dance. So let's move into a sitting practice again. And just really allowing yourself to connect with whatever from all of that is touching you most. So allowing this sense of contact once again to come to the fore, ground. And because you're human, you can know it. You can bring awareness to the feel of it. And spreading out into the feel of this whole body here. Really sensing the pulsing of your living system just now. And I'd like to suggest that we open out to a wider awareness of sounds in the space around your body and within your body. Just checking whether this feels appropriate for you just now. Maybe you want to stay closer in with with an anchor in the body. Otherwise, just playing with this spacious, open awareness. Feeling into the space within which your body is resting just now. The room that you're in and the wider space of your home, and then the space beyond. Maybe feeling the touch of the air on your skin. Perhaps really having a sense that there's no inside and no outside. A spacious, inclusive awareness. Feeling the sounds that are supposedly happening outside in the space, but actually are being felt within your own body. So just sitting with this wide open, spacious connection with the space around you and the sounds that are arising within this space, being felt within your body. So not holding on to anything and not pushing anything away. And maybe having a sense of the potential for rest within this. Not the rest of zoning out, but the rest of sitting quietly and allowing things to be as they are. No agenda, no pressure. Remembering that whenever you notice that you've lost touch, it can be really skillful to start close in again, just as David White was suggesting. Really feeling the small sensations within the body before spreading out again, moving into wider connection with the spaciousness of the space that you're in. Sound, allowing the sounds to come to you. Allowing yourself to be part of and connected to this extraordinary world. Maybe now for a few minutes, just letting go of directing the attention in any way at all, sitting with open awareness. So allowing whatever naturally seems to foreground itself in awareness, moment to moment. One moment maybe a thought moving through, an emotional resonance from that, and then a wider sense of the space within which the body is sitting, sounds. Maybe at times close in to specifics and at other times wide open to the vastness of the space. Just playing with, just sitting quietly and seeing what unfolds, allowing yourself to be in the stream of experience, knowing it and also letting it flow. And now as we move towards the end of this practice, just coming back with your attention to a more specific connection with the immediacy of an anchor place in the body. And inviting now some reflections, just giving yourself some space to just cast your mind back through this afternoon of practice. Different practices that we've done, the sitting and the moving and the body scan, and the themes that have been flowing in your own experience and the themes that I've introduced. Just noticing where you're landing with all of this now. What's emerging in your experience as a result of giving yourself over to practice this afternoon. And in a few minutes, there'll be a transition an invitation to move into small groups, to just share some of anything that you'd like to share from your experience of practice this afternoon. Of course, this is, as ever, an invitation, so if you'd like to just sit quietly with yourself and rejoin the fuller group when the breakout rooms close, then that's also fine. But just in the few minutes before we move towards breakout rooms, inviting you just to continue this personal reflection, and maybe just, if it serves you, to just jot a few notes, maybe just words or phrases of what's here for you just now. So when you move into the breakout rooms, what I'd like to encourage you to do is to give each person space to speak for maybe around 3 minutes, and you don't need to have a sense of needing to fill that. It's really fine to sit quietly together and just allow silence to be in the space together. So really no pressure. But listening, just giving each person 3 minutes, and you might just time that between you, just offer the support of timing each other without responding, just listening to each other. And it doesn't need to be coherent, doesn't need to be, so just maybe just fragments, just a few kind of pieces of what you've noticed in your experience. So give 3 minutes to each person in turn, and then give some space, if you'd like to just have a free conversation, free talking. And I didn't say at the beginning, but to just really underline it now, is the absolute importance of confidentiality. So take care of yourselves and only share what you would like to share in this space, what feels appropriate, and know that you're giving to each other this the respect of privacy, and holding each other's words in kindness and privacy. So nothing goes beyond this space. And when we move back into the full group, there will be a space to speak, but only speak from what is true for you. You don't need to report other people's experiences. Okay, so when you're ready, pair, so there'll be an invitation to join the small groups, and if you prefer not to, that's really fine. But if you do, that would be lovely. Much gratitude for your presence this afternoon, and the words spoken and unspoken. Yeah. And as you land into connection with your own being in this moment, just really feeling into the resonance of this afternoon that we've had together, and the sharing that we've just had together. Just allowing the echoes of all of this in your body and mind and heart to play out. Just feeling what's here. So we're going to close by coming into a big circle and holding hands. And maybe you can unmute yourself, so you can let go of the hand holding for a moment and unmute yourself.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's been really good to be with you in this circle today. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whole world in our hands.
Oh, precious times. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Rebecca.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Be well.
Bye.
Thank you, Becca. Keep safe and well. And to
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More than welcome, more than welcome. Bye,
We'll
Debbie.
sit together.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you again.
Thank